Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to Invisible Condition. It's not all in your head. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson, and we want everybody with an invisible condition, no matter what that condition is, to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you do have a voice, you have a community, and you are never, ever alone. Ryan Christensen is my guest today, and I am really excited for you to meet him. He's really cool. Despite living with neurodivergence, bipolar, and suicidal ideation, sorry, slip of the tongue there, ideation, Ryan has discovered ways to use these challenges to find solutions, which is really, I mean, that's what life is all about, right? Solutions, not giving up. And so Ryan leverages his decades of experience in the military, counterterrorism, and proliferation worlds to dive deep and rapidly identify those core beliefs, holding his clients back. So he helps people with this now, which is the idea, right? If you're going to go through something, come out on the other side and help people with it. I love that. Ryan is an author and a hypnotist focusing on mental performance, emotional resilience, and life satisfaction. So I'm pretty excited for you to meet him. Let's bring him on the show, see what's going on. Ryan, thank you for being here, man. This is cool. I'm excited to kick this off, man.
Outstanding. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor.
Absolutely, man. The honor is mine. And by the way, thank you for your service. I have never been a candidate. I probably would have volunteered if I could have, but I never did. So I deeply admire anybody that has served in the military. I appreciate your service. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I can't exactly say I covered myself in glory. You know, being autistic and bipolar doesn't lend itself well to being a particularly good Marine or airman, but I did what I could, and I was able to do a lot more when I was a contractor in DC doing the other stuff. So, I did what I could.
Whatever works, man. Yeah, you know what? I have so many friends I live in Colorado Springs. And so I feel like we're surrounded. You can't throw a rock in any direction without either hitting a base or hitting a soldier, an airman or something. So I get it there. We are immersed in that here. And so we have developed quite a deep admiration and respect, and just, we see it a lot, with what goes on, and a lot of the moving and it's just crazy. So it is not a life for the faint of heart. So, so let's just dive right in, man. So can you just start by sharing some of the earliest struggles that you had started realizing that you had, and faced with mental health?
So I knew from the beginning that I was different. I grew up in Kansas in the 1970s, 1980s. And I knew for an absolute fact that the world worked for everybody else and not for me. Everybody else can get what they need. Everybody else can have friends and live their life and get everything they need, and not me. Right. And, hey, just do this thing. And I'd do the thing and it wouldn't work. Yeah. So I'll do this and I'd do the thing and it wouldn't work. And I could not for the life of me figure it out. Nobody else could figure it out either. Nobody could help me, and I couldn't solve it myself.
Yeah.
And so, I knew with absolute certainty at a very young age, I would never get what I want. I would never get what I needed, period. So the first time I actually thought about ending my life was about 9 years old. Oof. I remember with 100% clarity standing in my parents' bedroom after school one day, trying to figure out if I could get the barrel of my dad's shotgun underneath my chin and still reach the trigger because I was not putting it in my mouth. Right.
Oh, man.
It is. Right? I didn't know at the time. I didn't get diagnosed with autism until last year when I'm almost 48 years old. Wow. Right?
Oh, man.
No, I did.
That to me is unbelievable. I have met so many people in the last few months that have a similar story in that respect, that I met a 60s. I think he was in his 60s, and he's like, I finally got diagnosed, and it made my life make so much sense.
It's actually one of the things that actually helped me figure out what was going on, is because me and my girlfriend at the time, a couple of years back, we were watching Love on the Spectrum TV show. It's about autism, right? There's a guy on the first season named Steve. Mm-hmm. And Steve is the most absolute sweetest, most adorable sweetheart you ever saw. He's like 62 years old. And Steve got wants to date, never really had a girlfriend. He
was the older guy, right?
He was the older guy.
He was an older guy that lived in like San Francisco or something. Yeah.
Yeah. 62, got diagnosed with autism 2 years before. which means the first 60 freaking years of life he didn't know.
Yeah.
He was autistic.
Ah,
No idea.
what do you do with that? You know?
Oh man, that's like, how could you, man, that really sucked. You know, going your time, was like, oh shit. I do that. That's way too familiar. I do that. It's like, God. So I took a couple online tests. It's like, I took 3 online tests. It's like Asperger's, like, oh my God. But it kind of made sense because my children are all have ADHD and Asperger's. I'm like, okay, well, that kind of checks out. Right. But it didn't really like register until the next April after she and I had broken up. I'm at this big party, about 60, 70 people trying to make connections because I didn't really have friends. She was kind of like my connection to the world. It's like, oops, that was wrong. So I'm trying to make friends. So at this party, I'm having a really hard time. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And my mind's like, hey, you want to see something cool? I'm like, okay. So it showed me what it was doing. And the way I've kind of like navigated the world is every pattern of behavior, every pattern has a mechanism that drives it, right? There has to be a machine that drives it if there's a repeatable pattern. Otherwise, it'd be random, right?
Okay.
So there's an input and output machine that converses things, right? So as soon as I saw a pattern, it's like, okay, cool. How does that thing work? What are the set of beliefs that creates that? Okay. So I've had to navigate the world, had to figure out some way, shape, or form. So I built my brain essentially to a machine that reverse engineers human behavior. Okay.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, let me show you. And it showed me essentially it trying to reverse engineer every single person's belief system at the same time and how they're interacting in each group, to social rules, and all these different patterns for 70 people at the same time. I'm like, hold on. Right? I'm sitting there trying to brute force everybody's behavior at the same time. It's like, no wonder I'm overwhelmed. I was like, oh crap, I'm autistic. That was the moment, like, boom, like
there you go.
We're all hitting,
right?
And that's actually kind of what started the process where I had my first manic episode. It's like, oh my God, like I figured this out. It's like, wait a second. All these things I think about how the mind works are actually true. Because I thought about that, I've been doing all this hypnosis stuff and figuring some stuff out and being able to get some really cool stuff going. It's like, wait a second, I'm right about that. So I went into like pure Rain Man, beautiful mind, trying to figure out the secrets of the universe mode, because that's what happens with autism, right? It's like, oh my God. And so you grab the thing and you keep on running.
Yeah.
And the problem is I'm bipolar. Didn't know it. I was getting treated for ADHD at the time. So I was on Adderall and some Wellbutrin. If you give that to someone who's bipolar, it can trigger a manic episode. You accelerate the autism off your races.
So okay. I just got to pause for a second and just
go for it. Yeah.
Medications are tricky, right? So
yes, they really are.
When the FDA approves a medication, it approves it for this purpose right here over here, this one. But when doctors figure it out, they go, oh, it also treats this and this and this and this.
Yes.
And so it might not be the ideal thing, but it works, right? And everybody's different, right? Everybody's brain works different. So it was it that kind of was it that kind of case where it was like it wasn't necessarily specifically for that, but it was a afterthought, like, oh, it works for that too.
No. So
okay.
I did not know I was bipolar.
Right.
Didn't know that. Adderall 100% counterindicated, and people are bipolar because it can cause mania.
Right.
Not a good thing. Do not go there at all.
No.
But I didn't know it because I never had a manic episode. I had depressive episodes, but I never had a manic one in the way that I understood.
Gotcha.
Right.
So it was brand new. Yeah. I was like, what?
Yeah, brand new. Yeah. Okay. So over the course of about a week and a half, I'm sitting there trying to figure out all the secrets of the universe and stuff like that. And it basically accelerated. I had an acute manic episode, ended up in psychotic break. I went insane. Yeah. Went insane, got arrested, spent a couple of days in jail, got charged with like 3 misdemeanors and a felony. Not my best showing. Not a good day.
No, that's not a good day, man. No, that's.
But here's the thing. That moment was like, okay, fine, great. There's some stuff about myself I don't understand. Fair enough, right? So the second I got out of jail and stuff like that, it's like, okay, great. I need to figure this out. So I went to a psychologist and said, all right, I need a full freaking workup. Just like give me everything. Because if this was a surprise, what the heck else is going on? Are there any elements down there that I'm not aware of? Because I don't want to be back there again, right?
Let's just cover it all.
The testing.
Yeah.
Yes. So got did the whole realm of testing. It's like, okay, you've got ADHD, you knew that, got bipolar, got that. You do have autism, 100% confirmed that, but there's nothing else there. It's like, okay, great, fair enough.
Okay.
So this is the package I'm working with.
That's enough, right? That's
fair enough. Yeah, like that's enough on anybody's plate, right? That's enough, right?
That's good.
So at that point, it's like, okay, great. Now I got to start working with a psychiatrist to start figuring this stuff out, right? Because when you have an episode that's severe, when you break like that, the likelihood you're going to happen again really, really high. So I cannot I cannot go without some sort of medication. I've got to get this thing under control. I got to stabilize it because otherwise, don't want to get arrested again. Bad idea, right?
No.
Plus, when you're in a manic episode, you essentially believe that everything you're doing is the right thing.
Right.
And I'm a former Marine with multiple weapons, lots of ammunition, body armor, and I don't think these are going right. That has bad idea written all over it.
Yeah.
That is bad idea written all over it, right? So
Yes.
I cannot let that happen at all.
Yes.
So start the process, June, August last year, start working with the people I was working with for the ADHD medications. Okay, we've got to take you off that. Great. Now I can't really do much work, but fair enough.
Yeah.
Started me a couple of different things. And the second thing they put me on was lithium. Lithium's supposed to be great, right?
That's some strong stuff, man.
Yeah. Well, the first thing that they put me on actually made me so anxious I couldn't drive.
Oh, see,
that's not good.
Yeah, no.
Right? So they said, okay, cool. We'll take you off that. We'll put you on the old reliable because it's really good about keeping you from being manic.
There you go.
That's the thing that we thought we had to treat. So here's the problem. I have ADHD. I have really low dopamine to start with.
Mm-hmm.
One of the ways that lithium keeps you from going manic is to repress your dopamine. So I crashed my dopamine to really low levels, which means I lost the motivation to do anything and I lost the will to live. So for about 2 weeks, I had suicidal ideation every single day, multiple days, multiple times a day for 2 weeks until this got out of my system.
Yeah.
And when I reached out to the psychiatrist was like, oh, this is just a normal bipolar thing. It's like, no, lady, it ain't. It's like, no, it ain't. You're freaking fired. Go away. You're fired.
Bye-bye.
So I found another psychiatrist. Been phenomenal. She's been great. But she's like, okay, before we put you on anything, we need to do some testing because what's happening with you ain't right. It's like, this is
right. Yeah. Let's figure this out. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's figure this out. Right. So we did some genetic testing to figure out how I respond to medication. We started the process. Right. So that's November of last year. And it's taken me until August of this year until I found something that worked. Right. Because everything kind of worked. Everything get me stable. But every single thing would mess me up in some ways.
Wow.
There were days where it's like, I can't work. I can't get out of bed until 2 o'clock a week and for like a week.
Jeez.
Some of the stuff would make me anxious, right? Some of the stuff would make me to the point where it's like, one of them actually made me nearsighted. I'm sitting there driving down the road one day. It's like, wait a second, I can't read the highway signs.
What in the world?
What in the world? I was like, okay, one of them like messed me up. I had like really high ammonia levels, which really messed with your central nervous system. Like every single thing kind of worked, but messed me up. So it took me until August of this year till I could actually get stable.
Wow.
Right.
Holy
I could actually finally get back on the ADHD medication and actually start working again. So it's over like 14, 15 months before I could actually do that stuff. Wow. And I'm self-employed. I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I don't have disposable. I got a freaking so all of a sudden, like now I lost 70% or 75% of my revenue.
Right.
I'm living on credit cards and 401k and the whole 9 yards. Like not a good time.
No,
not a good time at all.
No, that's not a good, that's a long time to be out, man. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to throw this out here for anybody that's listening. I mean, I know we're just at the beginning of the show, but I want to throw this out there for anybody that's out there. That's if Ryan is speaking your language, if he is saying things that you are going, holy smokes, I think that might, light bulb, if you're hearing anything that's making you think, or wondering if you might want to talk to him or, anything like that, please, just comment. If you're watching on like Facebook, YouTube, super easy to just drop a comment in there and say, let's connect or yes or something. You don't have to get into the gory details or anything. Just yes or let's connect or call me or whatever. And then we'll go from there. So and his website and contact info will be in the show notes. As you're watching this, you can access those as well on the website. So for now though, we're almost getting ready to take a break, but in the next few minutes, I want to pop this QR code up here because we have, you wrote a book about this all of it, just the whole, we'll get into more of the story in the second segment. So don't worry guys. That's not the whole story, but this book right here, I'll take that down for a second so you can see the book, but this is your book, man. And I've started listening to it on Audible, and it's amazing, by the way. You narrated it yourself, which well done. That seems like a very tedious task that I would not want to undertake. So kudos.
Love it. Best thing I did.
Man, it sounded like you loved it. You sounded like you were rolling with it, man. So, so tell us what the book is about and why you wrote it, because there's always a reason. So
so I've been working as a hypnotist for like 4.5, almost 5 years now, and working with hundreds of people. And I figured out a lot about how the mind works. And it's stuff that a lot of the things we think about how the mind works are not right. They're wrong. Okay. Like all models are wrong. Some models are useful. Every single psychological model has limits. There's implicit assumptions underneath it. And those implicit assumptions kind of define the limits of what you can do with it. So if you talk about like trauma and emotional trauma and so forth and so on, they can get you to a certain point. But if you're always thinking about emotions as pain, then there's another wound and another wound and another wound. It just never freaking seems to end. Right. Okay. So you kind of hit that point where it's like, you just can't, you're spinning your wheels, can't really make any more progress.
Okay.
But the problem was like, because I grew up autistic and I had to find a way to make life worth living, I had to figure out how to fix this for good.
Yes.
Or life would not be worth living. And I was done suffering. I was out.
Yeah.
Done. Right. Yeah. So I just kept plugging away until I figured it out. So this book right here is everything I've learned about how the mind actually works and how to get to a place where you no longer have to suffer. You no longer have to question yourself. There's nothing to fix. There's nothing to heal. You just to be you and go do whatever the heck you want.
Nice. It's awesome. And so that I'm going to, let's see here. I'll take the image down and put the QR code there. So it's not competing. But this is this QR code will go right to Amazon, right to the book. So you can order it. You can order it on multiple platforms, hardcover, softcover, Audible, and I think Kindle are the four that you can use. So, yeah. And it's pretty cool, man. I've been listening to it and I'm not through it yet. I'm kind of a slow, it's, the input, you got to take a break every once in a while, give your brain a break.
It's a lot. So it's a lot.
There's a lot in there, but
yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's awesome. So I'm going to leave that up there. I've got another, in one form or another, I'll leave that QR code up there for most of the show. So people have no excuse. Order the book, people, order the book and read the rest of the story. So, yeah. So let's we've got about 2 minutes before we're going to go to a break. Sure. So what do we got? We want to talk about on the other side of the break. Let's touch on, I love that you didn't let it stop you, man. I think it was 2021. I remember you saying you just kind of said, all right, let's figure this out. Let's figure it out. Yep. And you started diving down some rabbit holes of different tools, right?
Did everything. Right? Yeah. Did everything you imagine. Yep. So
on the other side of the break, we're going to talk about all those tools because there's some really good ones. I mean, I've used some of them. Some of them I haven't used yet, but I'm open to it. You never know. So we'll dive into that on the other side of the break, and we'll have this QR code back up there again so you guys can order the book. And so everybody stick around. Do not go anywhere. There's so much more to this story. I can't wait for you to hear. So stick around. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Hey there. Every time someone comes into your business or website and uses their card to pay, a percentage of that gets folded back into the system. But it can go to Hydro with Hope instead. If you'd like your business to support us rather than feed back into the system, scan the QR code and we'll show you how to do that while saving your business money.
Hi, I'm Sarah Stockham, and I'm host of Simply Sarah. Join me Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific on the Achieve TV network for the best energetic tools to elevate your amazing life right here on E360 TV.
All right. right. Hey, everybody, before we bring Ryan back, because there's so much more to the story. We're going to bring him back and we're going to dive right into it here in just a minute. But I want to tell you about InvisibleCondition University, ICU for short. This is something that I wish I would have had 10 years ago. About 10, 11 years ago, I had, or in the last 11 years, I should say, I have had 4 brain surgeries and 2 other surgeries that were related to the condition that I have that caused the brain surgeries. It's been a crazy 10 years. And every time we went to the hospital for surgery, we'd do the surgery and then you would go home and then the hospital forgot our name, and we were looking for help and weren't getting it. So that's why my wife, Catherine, and I created ICU. We wanted to provide a place where people like us, maybe like you, would have a spot where they could come. Community would listen, that would care, that walks with you through this, no matter what it is, no matter where you are in the journey. We meet on Zoom a couple times a month for about an hour. And, our goal is to provide a safe place for patients and their caregivers to ask questions, vent frustrations, find information that maybe you're not getting from your medical provider. So bring your caregiver, bring your mom, your dad, your sister, your friend, whoever's helping with your care, bring them. And we'd love to talk to them and maybe we can help. So if you would like to learn more, just scan the QR code or go to myfreegiftfromjeff.com. And that will get you a free month of the membership. And we'd love to see you at the next call, which will be December 17th. So we'll see you then. And let's bring Ryan back on here and continue with the story because this is good stuff. All right, Ryan, here we go. Mm-hmm. We are back and we were kind of in the first segment. It was a little rough, man. You've been through it, man. It's been, especially when you don't know what it is, when you're trying to figure it out and hey, light bulb, by the way, you're autistic, Thank you. What do I do with that now? But I kind of wanted to dive into, I think it was 2021 in your story. You said, now it's time to figure it out. Figure it out. So what did you do? I mean, I've been through so many things trying to figure out how to alleviate some of the side effects from the brain surgeries over the last few years. So I can understand the pursuit of something, let's just figure it out, for crying out loud.
Yes. Yeah.
How did that go? How did that start? What did you do?
Well, so I said that, the first time I wanted to end things was back when I was 9 years old. The way that I kept alive was my mind was like, okay, we got to give you a reason. Got a reason to stick around, right? And I was reading like a bit military stuff, military fiction, sci-fi, so heroic sacrifice. If I'm living for other people, if I'm like supporting the greater good, if I'm doing that thing, then there's a reason for me to stick around, even if I'm not going to get it, right? Think about Batman. Okay. Batman's life sucks, right? Everybody hates him, right? Yada, yada. But it's a really good thing he's around because that's Batman, not Bruce Wayne. If you don't get to be Bruce Wayne.
Right.
There's a difference. Batman's life sucks. Bruce Wayne has a good time. Batman's life sucks, right? But hey, if I can become Batman, at least I'm going to do something good, right?
There you go.
What I did up until like 44, 45 years old. But I'm sitting there trying to save the world. The world doesn't want to be saved.
Sometimes.
It's getting worse. Sometimes, but it's really not, right? I'm doing all this work trying to help them, but it's just not working.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden that reason to keep going doesn't work anymore. And all this time I'm not really getting what I need, and that's not working anymore. Right. So that's when I became a hypnotist, started working with people one-on-one, but I'm still not getting what I need. It's not enough. And that's when 2021, it's like, all right, I've got to find a way to figure this out. I've got to find to get what I need, or this just isn't worth it.
Yeah. I'm
done suffering. It is just not worth it anymore. So I went to war. I declared jihad on my BS. I'm like, I've got to figure this out. This is bullshit. I'm done. Sorry. Did the thing. My bad. But like, I'm done. Like I'm freaking done. We just need to figure this out. So I tried everything. I've been in and out of therapy for about a decade. I knew that wasn't really going to be the thing. So fair enough. So I started doing a bunch of coaching around entrepreneurship and so forth and so on, mindset, doing some belief work, right? Okay. These beliefs are the things that are kind of in your way. Fair enough. That makes sense. So I started doing that sort of stuff and getting some progress, but not really making a whole lot. Says, hey, we got this camp. We got this retreat. Gonna come over here. We're gonna do some psychedelics, play with your head. It's gonna be fun. So I did that. Right.
Sure. Come to camp.
Sure, it's like, why not? Yeah. Why not? It's like, sure. Like, why not? Right.
All right.
So the first day I did some MDMA. The second day I did some MDMA and psilocybin. amazing experience. Really, really kind of opened some stuff, very spiritual experience, which was not what I was going there for. It's like, I'm not here for the woo-woo stuff, and I get nothing but woo-woo. But, the second day in the evening, it's like, man, like, I'm loving this. This life is amazing. It's great. I cannot wait to do the stuff. And it hit me. It's like, wait a second. This is the first time in my life I've ever felt this way.
Nice. Yep.
First time in my life that I ever thought that was actually possible for me to get what I wanted, and life was actually worth living.
Beautiful.
See, on my chest, it says, I am alive. Date is July 29th, 2021, because that's when my life started. Right?
I love it.
But that's what, because I still got to figure out how to make it happen. Because I know it's possible, but I ain't got it yet. So
yeah. Still got to learn a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another 2 years of work. Right. Okay. So I did the stuff between then and now. Some more coachings. I freaking did energy work. I did like energy healing. I did somatic stuff and breath work, and I did hypnosis. I did more psychedelics. I've pretty much done all of it at this point. I've done, because hey, everything. And the thing is, like, every single thing helped. Every single thing, well forward of it. Right. Every single thing got me some benefit.
Okay.
Guys, wait a second. Like, none of this stuff actually does and can deliver what they say it do. There's these things, right?
So it helps a little. Like it helped short term, maybe, but it didn't. Yeah.
Well, if you think about, say, like cognitive behavioral therapy, right? One of the best methodologies out there for managing emotions. Right. Great. Well, it's dealing with the emotions after they've been generated.
Okay.
Right. So it allows you to cope with it, but it's actually change how those things are generated. Right.
So instead of saying, okay, this is a behavior I don't like, this is an experience that's painful, that's raw, instead of going back and doing something like what would it be, like NLP or EFT or something like that to like neutralize it. It's going out about it a little bit different way.
Right. But then you try and do the NLP and the EFT, and it doesn't actually change the thing.
Okay.
Right. It's like, oh, wow, like that doesn't work. And the problem, one of the biggest things, the most frustrating things about being autistic is I can't lie to myself. I can't lie to myself.
That could be a double-edged sword. Yeah.
I can't pretend that it's better. It's like, it's not what we got. Nope. So I'm sitting there, I'm like digging. It's like, okay, it's all about belief. What is beliefs I have about myself, about the world, that are messing things up? Okay. What's the best thing you got to go to where the problem is to solve it. Okay. And this problem is about beliefs. It's in my subconscious mind. So I got to go there. That's where hypnosis, right, gives us that access to stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So I know exactly what to change. I know exactly how to change it, and I can't do it myself because my one left me.
You're right, because if your mind is if your mind is what's trying to go against you, then your mind is not the one that. Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Yeah. Like if it basically doesn't trust me, so why would it listen? And all the things I want to do, all the things I'm trying to change it to let me do, things that it thinks are dangerous in some way. So why would it let me change it? Mm-hmm. Right. So I have to hire other people to do the work on me. And the thing is, all the models they have are wrong, and I know it. So I have to set up the problem in such a way that they can use the tools they have to give me the thing I need, even though they don't know what's going on. Really frustrating. Yeah. But that's okay. So I kept plugging away, and I got there eventually, like roughly October 2022. I'm good. Okay. We're good to go. Cool. Right. And then June, I'll lose my mind. June next year, I lose my mind. Like, son of a gun. All right. Best thing that could have happened to me. Best thing that could happen to me. I'll tell you what. Going insane as a hypnotist tells you so much about how the mind actually works.
Okay. I'm sorry. Going insane as a hypnotist.
Right.
I'm sorry. That's just a phrase I don't hear very often. Let's just sum that up for a second.
It's not your average Tuesday. Yeah, that's for sure. But it's like, I'm a hypnotist. I have spent my entire life reversing engineering human being, how the mind works. Wow. And here I am, and I'm losing my mind. It's really interesting. Right? Because I got to sit there and watch as my free will got taken away from me. There was nothing I could do about it. And because I felt amazing, I didn't even want to. Huh. Right? It's like, wow, that's interesting. That's really interesting.
That would be a little trippy. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Because here's the thing I realized, wait a second, that means I don't actually have free will yet.
Oh.
Which means
that's got to be a realization.
How to engineer free will.
Oh, wait a minute. Say that again?
Yeah.
Say that again?
I realized that I didn't have free will because my mind can make me do whatever it wanted to. Yeah. It was in control, not me. Which means I had to figure out how to engineer your own free will.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's actually the point. I remember like Thursday evening, it was like, oh crap, this is where I'm at. Right. I don't have control. My mind's gonna do whatever I want. Former Marine, multiple firearms, lots of ammo, body armor, a grudge. Not a good idea.
No.
Not good. That has got bad idea written all over it. So it's like,
That's
okay,
a
great.
terrible idea. Yeah.
So it's like, all right, mind, you messed this up. You've got control. I don't. That's a really bad thing. Fair enough.
So let's fix it.
Figure out a way. You mess this up. You were the one in control. You fix it. You figure out how to give me free will in a way that you can never manipulate me ever again, or we're too dangerous to live, and you know it.
Wow.
Right.
So
it got to work, and that's what caused that. Figuring that out's really hard, and that's kind of what pushed me over the edge. But I figured.
And this is all. And I'm guessing I haven't got there in the book yet. I'm still at the very beginning. I'm still kind of at the beginning, chapters of the book. So, but I'm guessing that is. I mean, you're diving into all this, right? I mean, this is what the book is about. This is, I mean, if you want to hear the whole story, this is where to hear the whole story right here.
I don't really go into all of that because
don't go into a lot. Okay. I thought there was okay.
This is the conclusions I've drawn. This is everything I've learned from all this experience.
See, I haven't got there yet, so I wasn't sure.
You don't need to know all that to figure out this stuff out, right? This is the result. It's like, now that I understand all this stuff, here's how to have that. Here's how to get where I got to do. Here's get all the benefit from that I do with the work with my clients. The extent that you can get it from a book or an audio. This is designed to give you all those tools, all that knowledge, all that belief, everything. Okay. Because I've learned a lot. And the thing is, I'm at a point right now where emotions aren't pain for me. So it's not actually possible for me to suffer emotionally anymore or mentally.
Man.
Right? So I can engage with everything like it's fine. It's okay. I can experience it all. And it's perfectly fine for me to, in the depths of hell, heights of ecstasy, all of it's okay. I can be there. It's fine. Which is part of why it was able to be in, go through the past year plus of being the stuff and not just having to deal with it. It was okay because it's just something I got to go through. Just
a thing.
Just a matter of plug-in. It's just okay. It's fine. It's fine. Because I don't have to hurt. There's no emotional pain. There's no suffering. It's just, every emotion is just asking you to help it solve a problem. And when you're looking at emotions as a way to solve a problem rather than as pain, then feeling that's a good thing because it's helping you figure stuff out.
It's helping you work through something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if people
feeling bad helps you.
And this is what you do with people. This is how you in what you do now, this is what you do. You walk people through that so that in the future, and then I imagine you give them, this is part of it is giving them the tools so that they can do it themselves. They don't have to keep running back to you.
Yeah. Right? Well, so when you think about the thing about beliefs is that your unconscious mind judges true and false out there based on, does this match what I believe?
Right.
Okay. If it matches, it accepts it. If it's not, it's false by definition, gets ignored. Okay. So once we wire things up in the right way, it stays that way. There's no additional maintenance. There's nothing else you have to do.
Okay.
This is just now your truth.
Okay? So you're setting it up so that you don't have to worry about a tool or anything in the future. It's taken care of.
It just is the way it is.
There it is. Okay. That's even better.
Right.
I like that even better. Yeah.
Your job is to come here. Let me play with your head. Go away. Live your life. I don't need you to see me more. My job is to put myself out of business because nobody needs me anymore. That's my job.
I love that. That's my favorite kind is the people that work their way out of a job with every client. That's the best kind because that means that, and I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus, the once a week for the rest of your life therapist. Sometimes that works for people. I'm not trying to diminish anything that anybody's doing, but for me personally, I personally would rather do something like what you're doing and and have a system in place so I can help myself in the future or just be done with it. Just I'm done. Thank you.
Yep.
That's even better. I love that.
You're talking about the once a week forever therapists, like they're not doing it wrong.
No,
like that's actually how that model works because the idea is like, okay, we're going to understand the thing and you won't have to worry about that. Right.
Yeah.
But think about the forest and the trees. Okay. The rational mind is very like detail oriented, individual events, so forth and so on. Individual problems, looking at trees. Your emotional mind's looking at the forest. Right.
Okay.
So you're looking at things from two different perspectives, which means that your brain is processing reality from two different lenses, two different perspectives at the same time and coming up with two different kinds of two different kinds of conclusions. Okay.
Okay.
So what happens is you've got this box in your head, big box in your head, label on the side says, I'm not good enough. There's a million different things in it. Right. So what does standard psychotherapy say? Let's take this out, take a look at it, put it in a different box. Makes total sense. Okay. So you keep on taking things out one at a time. Maybe you're really good. Maybe you're taking things out 20 at a time. Outstanding. Much better than one at a time. Great.
Sure.
There's a million things in there. And every single day, more stuff gets piled in. So
right.
of course it never ends.
Right.
Of course it never
Of course
ends.
it's forever. Yeah.
Of course it's forever, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. This is what I figured out. There's a label on the box, right? It says I'm not good enough, right? Take the label off, put a new one on. You're done. Take I am not good enough off, put I am good enough on. Now everything in that box now means I'm good enough. You're done. Don't have to fix it anymore. All it's done. Don't have to worry about going with your life. Because if you're looking at things, if you change the emotional conclusion, that left brain conclusion, that's the thing that sets the frame for everything else. So all these individual problems of like, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, is just I'm not good enough applied to its individual situations, right?
Sure.
Just individual manifestations, individual situations of I'm not good enough. So I fix I'm not good enough. All these little stuff goes away.
Unbelievable. That sounds so. That sounds so oversimplistic, but some of the best solutions are simple. That's
right. One of the experiences I did, I was doing psychedelics, did DMT, had this experience of like dying, going up, coming back, that kind of thing, right? But when I came back, I'm sitting there, I'm curled up on a ball on my knees, I'm laughing hilarious, can't stop laughing. I can't, and I keep on saying over and over and over, it's all so simple. It's like I brought back an answer, right? Wow. Because when you get right down to it, when you really understand things, it really kind of is.
Yeah.
When you really understand it, it really is simple, right?
Yeah.
So if it's all complicated, you don't get it yet.
Well, our brains want to complicate it. That's the problem.
Well, again,
sometimes
rational mind is what we love to use, and the rational mind is what really detail oriented. So stuff that's really complex, you got to get all these individual stuff, and it's really hard to understand a complex system detail by detail.
Yeah,
we're using the wrong tool to analyze it because it's the wrong scale.
Yep.
Right. Think about this way. Like you're standing in Times Square in New York, right? And you can just map that thing out in extraordinary detail, right? Does that tell you anything about how New York City looks from 30,000 feet?
Nope. No.
Any way to get there from here? Nope. And that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Trying to use this as an actual tool to get to this emotional conclusion. Trying to look at the trees to figure out what the forest looks like. Doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way at all.
It's such a shift though. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's making my head explode a little bit, man. I'm not going to lie.
Like I said, I had to figure out
token this up for a little bit. This is good.
Yeah. Yeah. But this is the kind of thing that the book does. It's like, hey, we just got some stuff wrong. We're looking at it from the wrong angle. We're looking at things a different way. Here's how stuff actually works. And I had to reverse engineer that in order to stay alive. So my mind just said, you're just keeping at this until you figure it out, because my mind was too stubborn to let me die. Thank God for it. So you're saying like all this stuff I went through, like it's real painful and everything else. You're not wrong. It was absolute, like it was
terrible. Yeah.
But if that's the price I had to pay to figure this out, fair enough.
And you're still here and you've got it and you're helping others with it, which I love.
Yes.
So that's my favorite part.
100% worth it. Do it all day, every day, twice on Sunday. Fair enough. Let's go.
Right. Bring it on. Yeah.
Bring it on. It's worth it.
I love it, man. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take this QR code down. It's been up the whole segment, guys. So if you missed it, it's your own fault. We're going to bring it back in the third segment. Don't worry. You'll get a chance to scan it again. But I'm going to bring it down right now because we're going to go to one more commercial break before the end of the show. And we're going to come back and have some time. And what I want to talk about in this last segment, or at least partly, is hope, man, because that's what you are on the hope side of things, and I love it. And so we're going to talk about that when we come back. And please don't go anywhere. This is some of the best stuff, man. We get some of the fun stuff in the last segment. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you in just a couple minutes.
Tired of losing cell service in dead zones? Concerned about connectivity in emergencies? There is now an answer. Introducing the Love Pod. The world's first affordable encrypted global internet Wi-Fi hotspot connects with multiple service carrier networks and is satellite assisted when no service carrier networks are available. so it works virtually anytime, anywhere. Connect up to 9 devices, like our cell phone, laptop, desktop, TV, security cam, and more. Stream, chat, text, download, and make phone calls, all with no roaming fees. With mesh capability, the Love Pods will grow in strength and speed with each new pod activated to create a private terrestrial-based intranet called Love Global Network. The Love Pods are dual blockchain encrypted with Love's proprietary 2048-bit cube chain encryption, giving you the ultimate protection in data privacy and security against digital attacks and hacks to your devices. You are no longer tracked, and your data is never sold. Get the Love Pod, your private, encrypted, portable global internet Wi-Fi hotspot, and stay safe and stay connected.
In a world where office workers typically receive 130 daily emails and have an 8-second attention span, CoreCentrica, with her 4 decades of international marketing experience, has partnered with the Learning Code Institute and their 30 years of neuroscientific research. Together, we are crafting unique messaging strategies that resonate, connect, and ultimately convert our target audiences. CoreCentrica, where award-winning creativity and disruptive neuroscience come together. Scan this code now, or call and click, and let us show you how CoreCentrica's partnership with the Learning Code Institute is influencing how businesses connect with their audience, foster engagement, and achieve conversions.
Hi, Eva Baca-Kearns here, and I am the host of One Punch Superstars, where we meet real people who chose to fight for their hopes and their dreams and become the champions of their destiny. You can find us on Achieve TV every Tuesday and Wednesday at noon Mountain Standard Time, right here on E360 TV.
All right, welcome back, everybody, for the last segment here. We, man, I gotta take a deep breath, man. That's a lot. I'm not gonna lie, man. That was a lot. There was a couple things you said I mean, there was some stuff that bent my mind a little bit, so I got to go back and listen myself again. But golly, you guys are gonna want to rewind this.
I figured some stuff out.
There's some big stuff in here. And so, but what I want to ask you is, I ask you this question of everybody on the show when I remember most of the time. And I love this question because it get a different answer every time and it's all good. So, on those days that are rough, on those days that things are, you feel like it's crazy, what am I going to do? How am I going to carry on? How do you still maintain hope?
Okay. So here's the beautiful thing. All right. One thing that got told to me that was one of the things, like, just smack up says, like, this, why did I not realize this before? Okay. It's very simple. Problems have solutions.
Yes.
Okay. Problems have solutions. So if it's not something to solve, it ain't a problem. Okay.
There you go.
This is a very good clue, right? So, for example, like, I have autism. Can I do anything about that? No. Nothing I do to change that. Therefore, that's not the problem. What is the problem? Because I have autism, hard to navigate life, right? There's a lot of social stuff I'm just blind to. So I got to figure out a way to navigate life being autistic. Fair enough. Turn my brain into something to reverse engineer human behavior. It's a different way to do it, but, like, it works for me, right? But hey, if you're autistic these days, you figure it out early. They give you all kinds of tools, right? I'm bipolar.
Sure.
Anything I can do about that? No. Nothing I can do about it. What's the problem? Because I'm bipolar, I can go off the cliff. It happens pretty easy. So what I got to do? Some medication I can take, put some guardrails up, keep me from going off the rails. There you go. I have ADHD. Nothing I can do about it. Don't produce enough dopamine. Fair enough. What I got to do? 30 milligrams of Vyvanse in the morning. Got enough all day. Do whatever I need. Again, it's all so simple. If it's complicated, you don't get it yet. It's fine. You're just not looking in the right place. That's okay.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is get curious. Right. So all you have to do to get anything you want in life, 3 things. It's the simplest thing in the world. Right. Again, also simple. Number 1, be your authentic self to the maximum extent possible. Right. Just be you, because that's going to get the closest to who you are anyways. Right. Number 2, listen. Every single part of you is trying to tell you what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
What you feel, these like gut feelings, these little instincts, these little curiosities are saying, hey, pay attention to this. Listen.
Nice.
Right? So sometimes say, okay, think about this. Okay, cool. Let me go down that rabbit hole. Let's find this interesting. Find this interesting. Find this interesting. It's going to lead you to where the problems are, where the solutions are.
Mm-hmm.
So all you got to do is get curious.
Right? Well, part of that is also slowing down enough to actually hear what you're needing to hear. Right.
Yeah.
And
And that gets a lot easier when you're not looking at emotions as pain, because then you've got an entire another set of things that are showing you the problems you have.
Right.
Right. Because you don't have to run from that stuff. You can actually listen to it because it's helping you find the problem.
Well, and there's something about pain. There's something about telling yourself it's pain, and you're not even doing it consciously. You're just doing, your brain is just registering it as pain. But if it's doing that, it's getting in the way of something else that could be.
Let me explain that, because this is one of the things like blew my mind. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So everybody's got this idea that emotions are pain, right? So where'd that come from? Well, when you're a baby, you've only got one tool to get help.
Cry.
Doesn't matter, like it's physical pain, emotional pain, you're cold, you're lonely, whatever it is. Whatever it is, right? You've got one tool to ask for help, and everybody reacts the same way. So it's very easy to assume that all kinds of discomfort are the same thing. All distress is the same. And what happens when you get older? Oh, you broke my heart. You hurt my feelings. It's all pain, 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 pain. So of course you think it's pain.
Sure.
Why would you think it's anything else? Why would anybody even question that? Right? But the problem is
they do.
It's pain. Right. Yeah. Well, I'm weird. I'm a freak of nature. It is what it is, right? But here's the thing. When you believe that emotions are pain and you experience significant emotional distress, what's that mean? It means you're in severe pain. What happens to somebody when they're severe pain? They die. So when you feel that severe emotional upset, when you've got that severe like emotional reactions, now all of a sudden your amygdala, now all of a sudden your survival circuits in your brain start activating. Right?
And start leading you in the direction that your brain is telling you, this is pain, this is pain,
this is pain. Right. Well, what it means is that now your amygdala is now treating your emotional state as a threat to your physical survival.
Okay. That's the change. I gotcha. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That kind of sounds a little bit strange until you realize this. Last year, 300,000 people in the United States died between alcoholism, drug overdoses, and in their own life. 300,000 people died from deaths of despair. How they felt into the life of over 300,000 people in the United States last year alone. It is that serious. Right?
Yeah.
When you think emotions are pain. But if you can get out of that, if you can look at them as tools, now all of a sudden that part of your brain doesn't have to treat it that way. You got a lot more space. You can actually engage with these things. They become useful to run from them, right? Gives you a lot more options to play with. Right? Because that's fundamentally what's happening is every emotion is just your mind trying to tell you what stuff out there means.
Okay.
Listen, I'm trying to solve this kind of problem. This is what we're facing. Fair enough. Thank you for showing me what the truth is of what I'm going up against. Right? It's trying to help you solve. Every single part of you at all times is trying to help you live the best life you possibly can.
Sure.
No such thing as self-sabotage is trying to help you. It's holding you back from something. It's because there's something else that's more important. You're not getting what you want. You're getting what you need.
Yes.
So I got to say, okay, let's step back. Okay, great. That's not where you're going. Why? It has to be true for that to be the wrong thing to go. Think one thing, feel another, step back. Great. What has to be true for both of these things to be correct? Because again, right brain looking at it from different perspectives, different lenses, different tools, coming up with different conclusions because you're looking at it different ways. Neither are wrong. Both of them are 100% correct. So if they're different, step back and ask why. Because there's a reason they're coming up with different answers. Make sense?
Yeah.
Get curious. All you got to do is listen. Oh, there's a conflict between what I think and what I feel. Something's not right. Something's mixed. Okay, great. Step back. Get curious. And let your mind lead you to the answer. Because as soon as because again, problems are really easy to solve once you know what the problem is.
Right.
Once I realized I was bipolar, easy day. Once I realized autistic, easy day.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we've got, now you can pursue it.
Yes. So one of two things is true. Either you know what the problem is and you're fixing it, or you don't know what the problem is. At which point you start feeling things, got these instincts, got these conflicts, because your mind is trying to lead you to what the problem is to help you identify it. And if you listen If you're willing to listen to whatever comes your way, no matter how uncomfortable it is, it's going to lead you to that problem. At which point you know what to fix. You're on your way again.
Wow.
Be yourself. Listen. Get curious. That's all you got to do.
There you go. So simple. Not always easy.
No, easy is completely different things, right? Yeah. But it is simple.
Yeah.
When it comes right down to it, again, once you understand it, really kind of simple.
Yeah. I love it.
Why should it be more complicated? Why should it be harder? Just do that.
Right. Right. Yeah. I tell you, once I figure, even like what I said was simple versus easy, once you figure out just because it's simple doesn't mean it's going to be easy.
Yeah.
Then okay, you know what you're, now let's go. Let's figure it out.
Yeah. But at that point, here's the thing. You know that there's an end point.
Yes. That's the
that
important
there's
thing.
an end.
Holy cow.
You know that there's a solution. You know there's a way out.
Yes.
As long as you know there's a way out, you got hope you can keep going. The problem comes when you don't think there's a way out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Which means you don't understand it yet.
There you go.
Something you're missing.
There you go.
Shoot, I don't think I've got a way out. Great. That means that I'm not the one that can solve this problem because I can't see it. So who can help me figure out what it is? I can't see it. Who can?
Love it. Yeah. It's so, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's what I have to absorb now because it's like, well, of course it's simple. Yeah. So, because people think we want to overcomplicate things, but we don't have to.
Yeah, we do.
Man.
Because we're trying to solve it, right? We're trying to solve complicated stuff detail by detail. It doesn't work that way.
No.
It doesn't work that way.
No, you can drive yourself crazy. So, yeah.
I did.
Man.
Remember? I did.
Just,
literally.
You drove yourself, but you came back, though. That's the important thing.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah. Going crazy is okay as long as you remember the route back. Just come back from there and you'll be all right.
Yeah.
So, well, man, Ryan, we are, unfortunately, we're out of time, man. That hour went so fast, and I'm so glad that we got to do this because so many people need to hear this, and so many need to order this book. I'm going to pop that back up there again. This is, everybody order the book. Just that's all I'm going to say. Just come on. Just
let me tell you a little bit about the book because it's a special book. Okay.
We got about 30 seconds. So
cool.
Go for it.
It is designed as a hypnosis program in written or spoken form.
Nice.
So to the extent that it's possible for you to get the benefit of working with me one-on-one in that format, it is designed to give you everything I possibly can in that way.
Sweet. So that's why you need to order the book. And then you reach out to Ryan and then you go the next
step. And I worked my mojo. Yep.
Beautiful. I love it. All right. Well, thank you so much for being, this has been mind blowing. I always learn something in every episode, but this has been pretty awesome. I'm going to have to go rest after this now. My brain is so
I have that effect on people. Sorry.
It's not a bad thing. It's awesome. I love it. So, but thank you, Ryan. So appreciate you being here and being so real and sharing with us. Appreciate it. All right, man. So cool. All right, everybody. You might need to rewind that and soak it all up. That was good stuff. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. If you have been watching for a while, thank you for being here with us for so long. And if this is your first episode, thank you. We appreciate it. And stick with us, set your, like, follow, subscribe, share all the things, subscribe to the YouTube channel, get the reminders when the show's going to come on. So that you can hear more incredible stories of people like Ryan. So join us for our next show, which will be on Tuesday, December 17th. Christmas is coming, guys. I can't believe it's this close. December 17th is our next show. Join us then. And until then, have an amazing day, and we'll see you next time.